Hello there and welcome back to the Quake Champions Week number 3 of the EU Dual Qualifiers. And it looks like we've got an interesting matchup between Zoom and Brejk. Zoom being Polish and Brejk being Czech. So any information for these guys at all?
Well, I hope it's pronounced Brejk. I could be completely wrong.
I hope so as well, for the love of God.
Brejk, you know, he did actually quite well. He beat Juvenile, I believe, in last qualifier, or the qualifier before that. But he lost out to, I think, Vu and Sturmy as well. I was just quickly grabbing some facts through looking at the bracket in that mean break. But this should be a lot evener. We're going to see a tougher game here for sure. And I think we're immediately going in.
Well, this is what we like to see, especially for the viewers as well. Looks like Brejk is going to go with Ranger, and it looks like Zoom's going to go for Scalebearer, well, which we actually spoke about before, actually.
Yeah, these are good picks. Scalebearer coming out on top here. Going to be interesting to see because there's lots of choke points in this map, like I was saying earlier, lots of narrow corridors to take advantage of, and Scalebearer can definitely do that. And he's gone Sorlag as well, I believe.
Yes, he did. I think it was his second pick, I think, if I remember rightly.
Again, great in those close range combat situations and can pick up some mean speed if he knows how to rocket jump and bunny hop at the same time. So then again, the map is pretty closed off, so I'll have to wait and see. Yeah,
I think this is going to be more of an interesting matchup compared to the last one, where it will be a lot closer. But I like the picks as well, just in general with the comparison, because it seems like a lot of them are counter picks. But I think it's also, it seems to be their right composition they enjoy playing with on Blood Run.
Yeah, it's nice to see a mix up from the usual, which will be Nyx, Ranger, maybe Visor, or or a Clutch in this particular in this kind of meta at the moment. So it's nice to see a range of characters coming out here today, and hopefully, Zoom can take away with some big picks for those big characters.
Well, this is exactly it. It looks like, from the look of things, he will be going as Rangers first for Brejk, and it will be Anarchy for Zoom, and straight away Brejk goes for that armor.
Yep, Mega coming in from Zoom as well.
I think at the moment they're still trying to grasp each other at the moment, but it looks like Brejk has just seen eyes of actually, of just going past, but it sadly misses the rail, but he drops back down to Fake to try and actually pull him off. But it looks like he is going to actually catch him off guard and just barely misses at all. And as he runs off, he tries to get away.
Yep, this is pretty deadly here for Zoom. He's just playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse with this next Mega, but he seems like he's going to get it. I mean, Brejk just giving it up and letting it go, but easy rail miss there, but good read. As soon as the Mega's been taken, obviously the low teleporter leads back up.
Well, this is the great thing about Ranger as well, is the fact that you can easily get height advantage at any time you like, and especially when you're bottom mid going for rail, you can also jump up straight for the armor, which is brilliant. And at the moment, he is trying to pin Zoom across at the moment, but it looks like Zoom may just barely get away with that rail. And now he's just going to play the cat and mouse game to see if he can actually catch him off guard for the Mega, sorry.
I mean, I feel as if Ranger could be more aggressive there. I mean, he has the upper hand. He already dealt the damage. He could take that Mega if he wanted to. He could take it away from Zoom quite easily by putting some more pressure on and using that dire orb, not just to frag people, but to get the armor afterwards. But he's just going for style points with that one.
He's been watching the Vec all over again, isn't he? He's been picking up tips, actually trying to find the orbs on Blood Run constantly, 24/7. But it looks like with Snorlag, he's trying to rush straight in to try and capitalise and try and win the champions at 2-all. But it seems like he just managed to get away and hopefully fight another day.
I mean, interesting turnaround here. Great movement. Great shot with the rail. 3 in a row. Brutal stuff. I felt that aggression could have come out earlier from Brejk again. But, he repositioned to something where he was more comfortable, and I can respect that. He wants to play the range game against these tougher champions and go for it. And respect to him for doing that.
Definitely. With Brejk actually hitting every single rail and rocket back then, I think Zoom's going to feel the pressure a little bit now, thinking to himself, what do I have to do to actually beat this guy? But he's not doing too bad health armor-wise at the moment. With Brejk just pick up Mega, and it looks like Zoom just picked up the armor, just may possibly just get away, but it looks like they're both still going to fight bottom mid. He tries to chase him in a moment, but it looks like he may just barely pick him off, and already that's 1-0.
Brejk. He's kind of a little bit lucky there on that last frag, because what happened was that Scalebearer got knocked up onto the ledge. He immediately charged, and because he ran off the smallest of ledges, it cancelled the charge. So Zoom was trying to probably get out of the situation or otherwise do some big damage, and it just sort of kind of, choked out on him, unfortunately.
Now, it's a shame. In those kind of instances as well, it's a bit of a pain when you have to actually realise that you just made such a little error which could have cost you actually that game. But it looks like now Brejk is actually the first one to lose a champion at the moment, because he did make a little mistake of actually orbing up to the armor, missing it, but had to go back up to get it again.
Zoom living up to his name, especially after that 180 rail. Nice stuff. The image is going to come straight out. This is foolish. Oh, no!
The gauntlet with Nix, he literally just ran him, but I didn't expect that at all. But now, Brejk has got the armor and is now potentially going to just get... No, he just doesn't get away. But it looks like Zoom's doing okay now. He's back up a champion.
I mean, fair play to Zoom there. I would have been tilted so easily after that double gauntlet hit. Like, I can't believe it. I think he was on like 25 HP or something ridiculously low there. And he just went in. Like, gigantic goos there.
Do you know what? That's probably the sort of thing would actually happen to me, to be fair. But I'm so glad I'm not on the other end of it anyway. But it looks like, Zoom is going to slowly get away for now for the fight another day. He's going to try and pick up the health wall. He's going to try and get back on track, wait for the next power-ups to appear. But they've already been picked up so far, so he's just playing a waiting game. Mega will be up very shortly, and it looks like he's just sound whoring and just waiting for the next opportunity.
Visor playing it nice and slow, waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the picks, and so like just regaining as much health. There we go. There's the ability used. The wall hack is enabled. Piercing sight, and it's got a clock on where Sorlag is.
But what I like about what he's doing as well, he's actually standing in the same position. Like, normally he probably thought, oh, he's going to run off in a certain direction straight after this, but instead he just stood there. But he almost got tripped down, but it looks like he's going to keep his height advantage and manage to actually stay alive and get some more health falls again. Yeah,
it's actually pretty good here for Zoom. I mean, he did a lot of damage, removed that armor stack, but unfortunately he doesn't have the Mega down yet. He hasn't been able to get any damage to switch this control as comfortably as he wants to. But, you know, the good thing about Sorlag and these tankier champions, you know, if they play the cards right and play the health bubbles right, they can easily get it stacked as a Visor. Quite, you know, if they just play it slow for a couple of minutes, wait for the picks, you know, bit of damage here and there, and pick up these 25 armors, and then you're in a good position. You just don't want to be giving away free shots like that, though, because it just, you know, it just keeps adding more interest.
That's
into
right.
Visor.
And it looks like at the moment, I think he's just trying to wait for an opportunity to grab the armor or the health just in general. But he already noticed that the armor was taken 30 seconds ago, but sadly he just fell just at the wrong time and just barely managed to get through. So I think armor has disappeared, but I think it's already been taken by Brejk so far. So Zoo now needs to wait even longer to make any sort of comeback.
He shouldn't be making a push for this. Locked down in a tough position there. Mega will go to Visor. Good rail, bad spawn. Rockets is lining up another shot. I mean, did he even hear the ultimate? I don't think he did.
No, it
gives
didn't
a free
look like
shot.
it. I think he was hoping that by the time it actually went, he'll be right. But what a rail by Brejk, and just like that, 2-0 so far. But I think the match is a lot closer than the score is at the moment.
It's a shame. It's really unlucky.
Tell
with
me,
that.
tell me, what's triggering you? What's triggering you?
That Nix start, that would have triggered me for sure. But to be honest, Zoom recovered it quite nicely with the acid. Good rocket there from Brejk.
That was fantastic. He literally had foresight of that and knew that he was going to go straight for it. So instead of going for the Mega straight away, he decided to go straight for the armor and actually try and at least injure him slightly in order to actually damage him whilst he's going for armor. It was great play.
It's playing it slow around this corner. Sorlag surely can hit the OG. Reacts incredibly slowly.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. I'm not sure why he was standing there.
He knew that his opponent was there. He was reading into the situation. He saw him at Mega, knew he was going back round. And, you know, it was a good read from Zoom. It was confirmed by the LG noise, unless the sound cannot be heard by your opponent, but I'm fairly sure it can.
And it looks like it's dropped down just at the wrong time. And it sort of didn't really do too much damage. And now it looks like Brejk could just barely able to frag Zoo just then. And already he's down a champion, and it looks like his next one will be Anakin.
Yeah, Brejk actually doing some great play there on the jump pad. I mean, his opponent wasn't fully equipped with the right weapons, and that's why he was constantly using that rocket launcher all the time. And, you know, when somebody hits that jump pad, you want to use the LG right there. And he didn't. I don't think he had it. So, you know, he was trying to hit these difficult air rockets. And it just gave more time to land more damage there for Brejk.
And again, another frag by Brejk. Looks like he's only got one champion left, and it'll be 3-0, 1-0 overall in the actual maps. And it was great as well earlier when he was actually did a fake orb to the armor to make his opponent assume that armor was actually coming up when it wasn't. So, you know, he's playing a very in-depth game at the moment, and he's just trying to throw his opponent off guard. But right now, the armor will be coming up any second now, next 3 seconds, and it looks like he's going to be back onto heavy health and armor at the moment.
Yeah, Scalebearer has a relatively good stack though. I mean, to be honest, they're fairly even. It just depends how this first engagement happens, and it's not going to happen very well for Zoom again. It's just the amount of damage he takes at this rocket launcher is ludicrous right now.
Yeah, it just seems like Brejk is always stacked, no matter what kind of situation he's in. But even when he's not stacked, he always somehow brings it back to a 50-50 playing field again. It's brilliant stuff by him. It looks like he's cornering him at the moment, but Zoom hasn't got much health at the moment, and he needs to be really careful what he wants to do with Scalebearer.
I mean, he doesn't even have a railgun right now.
I think this is the issue. I think right now he's actually baiting it as well as making sure the armor's...
I mean, I think he was trying to contest that mega. And just with a rocket launcher from that distance against somebody who's clearly very adept with the rail, it was a very foolish move. I mean, Corrupted Keep could be a good map choice here for Zoom. I think that would be a good sort of place to start going into this next round.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like, in terms of duel, just in general, it seems like he was more looking at the foresight situation, what he could be potentially doing, but his opponent didn't seem to be, you know, seemed to be quite off guard with what he was planning to afterwards. And it's like you said before, even with Visor, a couple of times he used his special, but didn't seem to click to actually know if he could hear it or not, or actually plan his next move. Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't really aware of the sort of worldwide noise that it comes across, and he just pokes out on a corner which was very obvious at the time. I mean, to be honest, Visor didn't even need to use the wall hack. He was clearly reading the game very well without it. It just gives, you know, a confirmed kill. I mean, most of these players don't need Visor. I mean, they've got their own built-in wall hack in their head. They're visualizing exactly where their opponent is at all times.
It's called game sense end of the day, isn't it? So
and, you know, it was just really well played from Brejk. Very clean, very nice, very efficient, taking away weapons with great positioning. And there was no entry point for Zoom to come in there. I mean, he had one good frag at the start where he did zoom in with an Anarchy and caught a Lone Ranger, but apart from that, that was about as good as it got for him.
Yeah, he abused his Ranger quite well now and then, and it was nice because of the fact that you could see with Zoom just in general, he was struggling because of the fact that even though, it's like I mentioned before, when his opponent was quite stacked most of the time, even when he was stacked, he never seemed to actually capitalise on any advantage he had.
No, I mean, Brejk was making sure that when he was in control, when his opponent had a bit more of an even stack towards him, he would just play the range game and just drown him out with some great quality rails.
Well, this is it, but we've got a pick for Corrupted Keep, literally, as you just spoke about as well. So
yeah, this is a good map pick for Zoom. I mean, if he's an old school Quaker, I mean, you know, get rid of that railgun, make sure it's not an option, and now he can actually focus on some close range fights. I mean, you saw what his Anarchy did. His Anarchy got in there, won the rocket battle, was relatively easy, but now he doesn't have to deal with being poked at range and finding those difficult, tricky angles where there's a waiting player just waiting to snipe you like a game of CS.
That's exactly it, and this is definitely not CS. So.
Definitely not, and that is a brilliant thing.
But it looks like they did go for Nyx and Anarchy at the end anyways. So finally, a clutch pick. Now, we have talked about this just to say that, you know, it is in the meta quite a lot. Normally it's chosen as a first pick. Maybe it's a last pick depending on the situation, what the opponent's played. But as a second pick, you know, it's not really too bad of a choice considering he had Snorlax and Scalebearer. But you're going to say something about the Scalebearer, aren't you?
The Scalebearer and the Snorlax, I mean, it all depends on the timing of the shield. I mean, Scalebearer can go through a clutch shield, no problem. And also Snorlax, if it gets the acid spit right, it will go through the shield. The thing is, the spit on the floor goes through the shield. The vomit that comes out doesn't, so you can protect the majority of the big damage, but you'll still get that 50 damage tick.
So do you reckon that clutch might have been a bad choice actually this time, considering Corrupted Keep? Okay, it's not like Blood Run, which is due to the actual size, but due to some of the close quarter situation you could be in, do you reckon it was a bad pick against Snorlax and Scalebearer?
No, not at all. I mean, Clutch is very viable still. He's still very, very tanky. He has a lot of more options that give him more movement and also, you know, less damage taken.
And here we go. Looks like they're both choosing Anarchy straight off the bat, and it looks like Brejk will try and get the Mega, but it looks like he almost fell off, but just staying on. And it looks like Zoom is trying to finish him off with the rocks, but they just can't seem to just finish him off. But he's missing his rockets left, right, and centres. But both of them are so weak, but Zoom's now dropping down, knowing that he's a little bit more on health, and just manages to finish him off.
Okay, he's looking way more comfortable now on this map. Picking up that first frag. Nyx coming out of Invis. Hopefully not going to go for the gauntlet. Mega going to Nyx though. Surely? Yes. Now Anarchy must get this next armor. It's a priority here.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic play. I think it was just a shame that Zoom did miss a few rockets, but he just said afterwards then, he just seemed to be really confident with his movement and where he's going to spawn kill him next on this map. So, yeah, I think you're right about the pick. Definitely a great choice.
Yeah, just needs a good attack angle now. Catch his opponent off guard. And here's a good angle, but the rocket's better from Nyx. He has to back off 14 HP here. And there's no health bubbles up just in the nick of time. They do spawn. Puts him back up to 75. Armor's coming up pretty soon, along with the, well, the Mega's already taken. Has to be careful of the Nyx. He
had an absolute saving grace when those orbs appeared, but I think the orbs appear every 15 seconds or something like that anyway, so, you know, it was just a nick of time just before he had done. And looks like his adrenaline will be back soon enough as well, so it looks like it's back to an even matchup, and now he's just trying to look for Brejk to see if he can capitalize on any situation.
Yeah, he's got that speed boost to hand, but I believe Nyx still has an invis as well, so let's see how this is going to pan out.
Yeah, no, I think right now, just waiting for the Mega, which has just come up, and the armor's going to come up as well. So, you know, it's going to be hell to play for in a moment, but he just manages to get it with the adrenaline, and now he's just going to be back off, trying to kill him with the LG, and just manages to, and now he's going to back getting the orbs and the armor shots.
Lovely 7 work there, to be honest, with the LG. Did some mean work on that jump pad. And 9 seconds until the Mega's up. Lock down this control, but this rocket!
Oh no! And it looks like because of the shield and everything, it just manages to get away from that. But the next pick now will be Snorlax. So you were mentioning before how they could actually acid him whilst he's using his shield. So it'll be interested to see when he does that in any close situation.
Oh no. Interesting. Just went straight for the rocket launcher. Forgot about the armor that was up. And now he's giving away everything, taking a frag champion, and this surely is going to be a frag here for the clutch. And so it's very tempting on this map to get that rocket launcher. It's by far probably the best weapon, depending on playstyle, of course. Some people just prefer the LG, but you know, one good rocket and essentially you can knock your opponent's aim off, and it's just so tempting to just run and grab one when you think you have an opportunity to.
Well, this is it. This is the difference between the skill of players. Some people will actually just go straight for the best weapon, which is closest to them. But what you got to remember is that someone like Brejk knows this, he'll foresee this, and uses game sense to know, right, okay, I'm going to go straight for the rockets because I know that's what my opponent's going to go for on a map like Corrupted Keep. Yeah. So it looks like right now he is trying to stop him from actually any attempt on the Mega, but it looks like, will he just barely get it? I'm not sure if he actually got it. No, it was Zoom who actually got the Mega at the moment. And looks like he's going to finish him off, and yeah, wow, first round to Zoom.
Good job from Zoom. To be honest, that was quality work with the charge there. Knocking down that clutch. It's exactly how you're meant to use it as well. You know, when that shield is up and you have no other options to actually get some damage in, charge away. See what you can get.
I think he was hoping that, I don't know why he put his shield up anyway. I think he was hoping he would crack under pressure and not charge, or maybe he didn't have any charge left. I think that's what he's hoping for. But a different change this time. Looks like he went for Clutch first instead of Anarchy, whilst Zoom stuck with Anarchy. But it looks like Clutch comes out on top. So now, yeah, Zoom down the champion already.
Zoom was pretty unlucky there. I mean, his rockets connected, but they were just minimal damage. And against the big time, oh, that prediction. Again, Zoom being very predictable, going immediately for the rocket. Brejk hearing it and just able to knock some big damage with a prediction rocket. The Vommit's actually pretty good here. Shield won't last much longer. He needs to find a way out. 20 HP, he's going.
Oh no, and as well, he's got the armor, so now he's going to be just trying to spawn kill his opponent, trying to find him any way he can, but I think he knows he's going for the rockets, and he's trying to LG him, but looks like he has to try and fight another day unless he gets caught up.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, Brejk could have actually had that armor if he could dodge quicker. He was a little bit slow on the uptake there. Had time.
It's a shame, but Zoom's very much stacked up at the moment, going straight in for the LG, hoping to finish off Anarchy, and does that with ease. So now, stacked up again with the armor, and now he's just going to try and find his place. Sadly, he's going to drop down and miss out on health, but he's going to jump back up and pick it up anyway.
Yeah, I think if this goes to a third map, which it might not, but if it does, I think we're going to see Ruins come out from Brejk, get some LG on the go.
Yeah, his LG seems to be quite strong at the moment, though, isn't it? Just in general. But yeah, it looks like, well, we're not too sure. For all we know, for Brejk, that could have been, Blood Run could have been one of his best maps, but it looks like they're going to rocket each other, trying to get away. Both on similar health at the moment, hoping to LG him and finish him off, but it looks like he's going to pull back now and see if he can catch him off guard some other way, whilst the Mega's about to come up.
Ooh, big LG damage there coming in from Brejk.
And Armor's up. Armor's still up. It's been up for the last 10-15 seconds now, possibly 20, and it looks like they're more focused on the Mega because they're both assuming that one of them's already picked it up. But it looks like Zoom's already picked up the Mega now, so it's all good.
Brejk doing some lovely damage there, some great knockbacks there, and then switching to the LG to finish the job. And yeah, it was really nice. Straight off that last spawn, you know, Brejk just dived straight in, did the damage. He knew, see, he positioned himself in that way because he knew that he had Mega to fall back to. He knows where the spawn locations are, so he was going for some free damage before having to go fall back for the Mega. That's why he was doing that kind of move. He wasn't ignoring it. He was just, you know, knowing it was safe already. He had an opportunity to do some free damage.
Now that was well played by him at the moment, and it looks like he is waiting for him or baiting him out to try and get the LG. I'm not sure if Zoom has got LG at the moment, but it looks like he is going to Adrenaline, try and get away if he can, and both Armor and Mega is going to come up any second now, so they're both trying to fight for the Mega, and it looks like Brejk is doing a lot of damage and just manages to frag him and pick up the Mega, and potentially the Armor if he knows it's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, these Armors are pretty sick up at the moment, Mega and Armor. I mean, these players should be delaying a little bit more. I mean, what I like to do on this map, especially if I get the Armor spawn, is delay it by 10-20 seconds. Because nobody ever goes to the Armor side at the start of the map. You just assume that, you know, they've already picked it up initially, ran around, picked shotgun, gone up to rockets, and, you know, done something with that. But
I think this is the little things as well which needs to be done. Like a lot of the top tier players we see that, you know, they may pick up at like the 3-second mark or something, but instead they'll get there at 35, assuming it's going to come in at that time where actually it comes up at 45, 50, which is great plays, but it seems like we haven't seen them do that much. So if anything, they've actually been forgetting the timings on some of the pickups sometimes. Yep. But it looks like right now we've got Brejk with the Arm at the moment. He's just going to have a look around and see if he can actually find him, but it looks like right now he's going to try and back off him as much as he can and try and get away, but it seems like he's been chased down and instead gets a nice rocket kill, and he's going to try and get some armor.
He's been landing some brilliant rockets this game, absolutely out of this world, and those rockets were kind of devastating. The first one, I believe, knocked him down. Zoom didn't really want to jump down from that lower or that high. Oh my god!
Do you know what? I'm starting to get a bit suspect about it now. But instead, yeah, already now, 2 champions down. Brejk seems to be extremely comfortable. It seems like at the start of every map he plays, he has a little bit of a 50-50 moment, but all of a sudden he just completely changes game plan and go, hello, I am this guy now instead. So fantastic work, and especially with the rockets, brilliant play.
Brejk just hiding, waiting for the scale bearer to wear out, and more showing off with the mid-airs. Fantastic play from Brejk. Clearly warmed up there and showing some tremendous stuff.
It is typical, the way I was saying, actually it's a lot closer than I expected, and then he does that twice in a row. Some ways that don't surprise me because that is obviously the caster's curse. So.
Well, I mean, he won the first map really comfortably. He was a little bit scared of this map. Obviously, I think maybe a little bit, you know, a little bit scared of, you know, that sort of close range fight. No rail, nothing to fall back on and rely on at long range. But, you know, with superb LG, with amazing prediction rockets, he was knocking it out of the park. I mean, Brejk just showed he was clearly the superior, better player in this matchup, and you know that Anarchy, he was just so comfortable. And there's nothing more enjoyable than seeing an Anarchy that is comfortable on a map that can roam and play aggressive and lay down the damage.
Well, this is it, and especially as rails, it's just his aim was just completely on point. And with some people, you do find that the gauntlet kill, how can we forget that? That's the one thing we didn't actually remember of all the things he'd done. But yeah, I think it was just in general that they're not just aim stars. This guy's actually got not a bad game sense, but I think the things he needs to work on a little bit is maybe the timings of when he needs to pick stuff up and maybe delay it a little bit just to throw his opponent off guard. But you know, apart from that, we probably need to see how he plays against a slightly higher skilled opponent. But to be fair, well played by Zoom just in general, especially on the second map.
Yeah, I mean, he got a great start on the first map. It looked like he was going to come into his own element. He looked very comfortable on the second round too, but then Brejk just came back with some excellent play. And unfortunately, he did break him.
That is literally an understatement of the century, especially for the last 2 parts of that game as well. But, you know, I was quite surprised, but, you know, like I said, those rockets, if I was playing against him, I would have gone, yeah, you know, you're pretty suspect, so watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if how you pronounce his name is really Brejk, but maybe it will be from this day on. So I apologise if I have got your name wrong, but
breaking kids left, right and centre as he goes into the rounds. But for now, that was the second round, and we're going to go into the next rounds in a moment, so we'll see you in a few.